maiden name, and then we have a little real estate company, which is building Jeremy Enterprise, which is named after our third son. So everything that we do, we try to relate to our family and why do we do it. And it keeps our whole atmosphere around our people. It's all a family run, and all of our employees are just like family. You know?
A couple of things before you continue. You really got your teeth cut on this stuff. I mean, you really have a huge background, 13 years working for a major company, college degree in construction management as well. So it's not like you just said, oh, I think I'll start a construction company. You know what you're doing. You have the background. I mean, you have the background, the experience, the training, and there you are prepared.
Yes.
Prepared for what you're doing. And that's an excellent point that we need to make and drive home, especially to our young people. They need to be prepared.
And not only was I prepared from the schooling aspect, but I was prepared from the way I was raised.
Yeah,
from the way I was raised. You know, my dad and mom would tell me they're going to be rainy days.
Yeah.
And business is going to be hard because life is hard. And if it was easy, everybody and anybody would do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is, I know why my mom and dad said, let's work on this farm. We're going to give you hard 13-hour days. You're going to sweat. And at the end of the day, all we're going to do is eat. We're going to keep life simple.
Yeah.
And for that, you know, I was just happy to be able to put a roof over my head, be able to eat.
Yeah.
And that's what I was getting back from working. Today in our business, we think the same way. You know, we have to be able to feed our families, eat, keep a roof over our head, and every job is not just going to be a job that's going to be a home run. Sometimes you just have to eat and survive. In this 2009 and 2010 market, we're just trying to eat, survive, make it through like every other business, every other church. They're a business. They have to keep their membership up. So, you know, we started the business 12 years ago in 1998. And along the way, we added smaller entities.
Okay.
And it's 2010. And we're looking forward to 2010 and really looking forward to 2011 and just the changes that Jostin Construction is doing in order to bring in new revenue streams. And, you know, we sit around this table and we talk and we say, it is great to get to the top of the food chain and be the general contractor.
Right.
But what's even better, we're becoming consultants. So all of a sudden, there's a no revenue stream. All of a sudden, Deacon Staley or Pastor Farrell or somebody's going to call and they're going to say, hey, Jostin, what do you think? We're getting ready to build this building. And before I even start spending all this money on this engineering and drawings, we're looking at doing this. And we know that you'll listen to us, hear us, feel what we feel. And we're willing to pay you a little consulting fee to get us going before we decide to spend all this money.
Yeah.
And we're getting good at what we do and how we do it.
That's great.
It's great. And
what about the projects?
Jobs we've done?
The projects we've done, concrete-wise, general contracting, St. Marcus are first. We're down at Queen City with Turner doing.
And Queen City Square, let's let the audience know, is going to be the tallest building in Cincinnati.
Yes, and they are, I think they've completed, they're up to 44 now. So, and our management, our project management, and our field personnel down there are getting a ton of experience. And, it's been a good process. It's been a learning process. Being a minority business, working with a major majority company, and a learning process for both. So we are, like we talk to you about what you need. We continually talk to them and say, how's it going? How's it going for you? Here's how's it going for us. And you've got to be totally honest in order to move forward.
Catch it before it's too late.
Right.
Catch it before you know when you can deal with it.
The other piece of consulting, which I thought Albert was going to go that direction, particularly on St. Mark's, is we have been working with small minority businesses on St. Mark's and helping them to learn. Bringing them in.
All right.
Helping them to learn how it works. You know, a lot of them have done residential, which is completely different from commercial. And, you know, teaching them the ropes and coming in and
passing it on.
And you're doing the same thing at Queen City. You have 2 or 3 minority businesses. I see them sit at this table and come in.
You get a contract, you bring in other businesses.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's what it's all about.
It's a circle of life. You have to do it.
You
have to do it. And those businesses are going to grow.
Right.
And some of them are
Exactly.
gonna outgrow Jostin.
Yeah.
And some of them are gonna create opportunities for Jostin.
That's right.
But
Some
then
of those
they will
companies.
turn around and
Yeah.
And they'll
pay it
hire.
forward. Yes.
They
We're
will
always
hire.
talking about jobs in this city.
Yes,
They'll hire
will
some
hire.
folks as well,
They
as you
will
guys
hire.
know, as you guys have done too.
right.
The major projects that
Major
you've done here in
projects we've
Cincinnati,
done, Children's Hospital, we've done
Children's Hospital.
3 or 4 large projects there.
And we're very proud of them.
Very proud of those, and obviously very proud of Children's Hospital in the
Yeah.
city. We worked down in Lexington at University of Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
up in Dayton on a Care Source Medical Building,
Mhm.
lots of parking garages. I'm trying to think of,
Our main clients are Messer,
Yeah,
Miller Valentine.
okay, the big
HGC.
companies. Yeah.
Big companies. We
Yeah.
work for a lot of the work that we do is private work.
Uh-huh.
Last year, we did 4 or 5 projects for Miller Valentine, and they were a great company to work for. We didn't know much about them before then. We bid to them, but wouldn't get work. All of a sudden, they meet us.
Yeah.
We do the first project. This young man by the name of Matt Packer, great guy. All of a sudden, we take him golfing. We go to Macatiwa and have 12 Miller Valentine people there and maybe
Yeah.
12 Jostin people. And then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden, we get 5 jobs.
Relationships again.
You do a great job on the first one. Not that you don't have hiccups, because every
Right.
company has hiccups, but boy, the relationship just took
Yeah.
off. You know, Messer's been very good to us, and,
Mhm.
you know, they gave us our first opportunity on a big job, $3.3 million for Children's Hospital, and that was
Uh-huh.
probably 2 years ago. And before that, we did a 16-story building over there, the S building, and, we do a lot of hospitals. We did the Christ Hospital Cardiovascular, the Christ Hospital School of Nursing. We worked for University Hospital.
Mhm.
We work for a lot of the hospitals in all the cities, like Whitney was saying, the Care Source building in downtown. Dayton was a great building for us. We just finished a parking garage, 4th and Elm in Columbus, Ohio. We work in Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati, Lexington, Louisville.
Okay. So you have a footprint in the region.
sort of a 100-mile.
terms of
About a
doing-
100-mile radius, and in order for our small business to make it, you know, we can't get enough work in Cincinnati to survive.
Yeah.
Or Justin, we have to run within that 100-mile radius to
right.
be able to pick up the 40, 50, 60 jobs we need a year.
But let me make my Blackonomics commercial right now. There's enough business in Cincinnati.
There is enough.
There's enough business in Cincinnati with Cincinnati Public Schools, with the Banks Project, and all these other major projects that are coming up, MSD, to keep you busy here in Cincinnati. And those are the kinds of things that we need to promote, that we engage our local companies to do as much of the work that's local as we can. And that's another reason I'm so proud of this church, Jostin relationship, St. Mark and Jostin relationship, that you for me provide an example for others to follow. And I want to talk to the ministers here about this stewardship aspect. I mean, we hear it in our sermons, we hear it from the preachers and talking about how important it is. Fold your thinking into this business idea or this business practice and frame it in terms of stewardship for us so that we can get some real practical lessons out of it.
I think one of the most, before we go to that, one of the most pleasant surprises for me was not only the professionalism of Mr. Jostin, Mr. Smitherman, but the professionalism of his workers. For us, the church is holy ground. And so when you're on holy ground, we expect a certain kind of respect for that place. So it's been a pleasure when I ventured into the workplace, what I have not had to hear,
Real
what
important.
I've witnessed, that they've been about their responsibilities, and they've been about their responsibilities with all due respect.
Good.
Because if the quality of the work was excellent, but if the quality of their behavior
Yes.
was terrible, for us personally, it would take away from the work.
Right.
So I think if we could get that kind of attitude through to anybody that's working in the church, that for us this is holy ground. And whether you're inside or outside, if you're merely on the premises, remember where you are.
That's right.
Yeah, and carry yourself accordingly.
That's real important.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah,
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carry yourself accordingly.
Mhm.
As to the stewardship issue, I'm also the son of a pastor,
Okay.
who was the son of a pastor.
Mm.
So I was raised with certain principles and values. Thank God for the time that I was raised. It was a wonderful time. And so we were taught values and ethics
Yeah.
and morals, and the church was the center of our life socially,
Right.
spiritually. It was our gathering place. It was where we met. It played an integral role in our lives. So we were taught, even as children, to take care of the people and the places that take care of you.
Mhm.
So stewardship came very naturally
Mhm.
for us. We were taught from a child that when you work, and the first thing that you want to consider when you work and you receive payment is stewardship.
Right.
Okay, so giving to the church evolved into investing in the church.
Good point. Good word.
Yeah, investing in the
Yeah,
church.
yeah.
And so it became just normal for us. I have a saying at our church that some of us are blessed to be involved in pain-free giving.
I like that.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah. But to whom much is given?
That's right. That's right. So
That's right.
so it's been a blessing. We've been able to see some people grow actually in the area of stewardship,
Mhm.
and hopefully more are growing at the same time.
That's good.
Yeah, more growing at the same time.
Mhm.
But it is important. It is important because I think that I see a time where church is going to be so necessary.
Mhm.
It's always been our refuge.
Yeah.
We could not afford the psychologists and the psychiatrists. We came to church on Sunday morning. We shouted it out. We shouted it out.
Shouted it out.
Yes, we shouted it out, brother.
That's right.
And we screamed it out. But
Oh.
and so the church, our lives as African Americans, has always been woven around the church.
Yeah.
And I think that even in these times, many people who have walked away from the church are going to be coming back.
Mm.
Hopefully we'll be prepared when they come.
That's good. That's good. Good
Yeah.
point.
Well, for me, stewardship is not only about giving to the church. I mean, it includes that. You can't get around that.
Uh-huh.
But it's about a whole way of life.
Uh-huh.
A whole way of life. Everything that we have, God gave it to us.
Yes.
That's right.
And He expects us to manage it well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
And
another
the
good
better,
word.
the better you manage it,
Yeah,
the more you get.
yeah,
Because if you don't manage it, what you have will be taken away and given to those who do manage well.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, in every aspect of my life, I tell classes in that church, when I learned how to take care of my cars lasted longer. I spent less money in repairs,
Mm-hmm.
so I had more money in my pocket.
Right.
So when I started taking care of my house like that,
Mm-hmm.
I had less repairs, more money in my pocket. It's about managing, taking what God gives you and managing it to His glory and to His honor.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't manage it, He gets no glory. God gets no glory about you being poor.
Yeah.
He gets no glory about you, your car always broke down and
Mm-hmm.
windows out in your house. That does not bring Him glory and honor.
Right.
But if you manage well, your house will always be in order, your car will always run, and God will give you more.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to stewardship in the church, every aspect of the church's business, whether it's fixing a toilet, fixing a driveway, whatever, has to be seen as this belongs to God.
That's
Yes.
right. Mm-hmm.
This belongs to God. How do I do this? You do it as if you're doing it for God.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Smithman, if he's working for the church, it is expected that he is working for God
Mm-hmm.
through the church. So if he messes up with the church,
Mhm.
he's messing up with God.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no power on earth
Right.
can save him
That's right.
from the wrath of God.
Right. Yeah.
And when he's working for the church, he's working for God's people.
Right.
Mhm.
If he misuses and abuses God's people, again, there is no power on earth that can save him from the wrath of God.
Mhm. So this notion of stewardship, you know, too often I think we look at that and think about it, and it connotes something in the church. But stewardship goes well beyond
Oh, yeah.
the church. I mean,
Yeah.
it goes to business. It goes to private business.
Right.
The private businesses, especially I'm going to say black businesses,
Yeah.
need to be good stewards of their work
Yes.
and do what they say they're going to do. The one motto I give to my class every time we start is that here's what I want you to always think about. Do what you say you're going to do. Because nobody's making you say you're going to do something.
Mhm.
But if you say you're going to do it, do it.
Yes.
And I think if we live by that one basic principle in terms of doing business with one another, we'll have more satisfaction rather than dissatisfaction. And I just think this whole notion is so important. And it brings me to a thought. A couple of shows I did on the empowerment experiment. Some of you have heard about that. It was a black family in Chicago that said we're going to live on black businesses for an entire year. That year came to an end in 2009, December 31st, 2009. And they did not break their pledge. They did it. It was very, very difficult. And this kind of reminds me of their effort to seek out black businesses for everything they needed in their lives, even to the point of driving 20 miles to go to a black-owned grocery store to buy a bunch of bananas or whatever they had to buy. They did that. And I think that with all the resources that we have here in Cincinnati among our churches and all of the capability that we have among our black businesses, there should be much, much more empowerment experimenting going on among our citizens here in Cincinnati. Because as Brother Rose alluded to, we complain a lot about what we don't have,
Right.
but we don't celebrate and utilize properly what we do have.
Yeah.
We have a lot of resources, and in my opinion, they're very underutilized. So I'm just very impressed and excited about this relationship between St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church and Jostin Concrete. Of course, I'm proud of Gray Road and its relationship with Chris Holmes and you know what took place 17, 18 years ago in getting that church building constructed. We need to see more of this.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons I wanted you guys to come in and talk about this, because I probably